Well, it's very nice to be here, and I appreciate the invitation by Lanaco to come to Bosnia and Banja Luka. I have not been here before, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. So the Center for Global Enterprise, CGE, was started about 12 years ago, and it was started on a very simple premise, which is how can we help CEOs and business leaders transform their enterprises to be part of a globally integrated economy. So from the beginning, our mission was around management expertise, global business, and creating the conditions and the tools for leaders to change their organization to be more global and successful. So we think that the Center for Global Enterprise has been able to do that pretty well over the last 12 years. And we have distinct institutes within the CGE, the Cyber Readiness Institute being one of them, and the Digital Supply Chain Institute being another one. And we've been fortunate that Lanaco has been a member of the Digital Supply Chain Institute for the last 4 or 5 years. And the ability to work together with the company and with the company's customers and suppliers and employees has been tremendous. So when we published the Growing Global Lessons for the New Enterprise, that was probably 2014-15. And the world has changed a great deal since then. But some of those lessons are still very real and will take companies to the future, but some not. And at that point in time when we wrote the book, members of our board of directors each wrote a chapter in their area of expertise. So we have tremendous knowledge and wisdom that comes forth in each of these separate chapters. And each chapter is important for a CEO to understand. Now, what's changed? The change is that the globally integrated economy has now become more segmented and fractured, has become more regionalized. And so the economies of scale and the freedom of decision-making that existed in a globally integrated enterprise, where economics were the controlling factor, not geopolitical factors, gave each company the ability to make decisions and investments in a way that best suited their optimization. Today, things are different, and now externalities, government policy, geopolitical factors such as war, climate change disruptions, economic competition between the first and second largest economies in the world are now putting constraints on leaders, business leaders, about how they can invest and where they can invest. So while many of the stories and many of the recommendations in the book are real and still very useful, not all of them. And so companies are having to adjust to this new world of constraints and segmentation. So the Balkans have always been an area where there have been multicultural people and constituencies and values. And while that may be tricky in some periods of time, it actually ends up being an advantage in today's world. Because the more multicultural experiences you have, the more you're able to understand people's preferences. One thing I would recommend to business leaders around the world, but especially in the Balkans, that has this diversity of experience and diversity of appreciation, is it's more important to create a disruptive business model than it is to have a disruptive technology. There are many technologies that have been very shiny, exciting objects that have never been successful in business. And yet there, at the same time, have been companies who have created a new business model that nobody thought would have value, and now are some of the largest and most profitable companies in the world. So my recommendation would be focus on a disruptive business model that can be supported by technologies and disruptive technologies, but don't start with disruptive technology. I think it's a challenge. I think Cyber awareness, generally speaking, is a topic that many people are uncomfortable with, don't feel adequate to deal with it. And in small and medium businesses, it's always hard because that business is just trying to be successful every day, usually with a limited amount of resources, whether that's financial, human, or technological. And so one of the reasons we created the Cyber Readiness Institute was to take the wisdom and the experience and expertise of large companies and try to share with that with small companies. See the future. Decide what you would like your future to be. Pursue it, but with your eyes wide open, realizing that we're in a period of pretty big change right now in the world. We don't have a lot of harmony. We have a lot of disagreement. But in any period of change, there are going to be winners and losers. The winners are generally people who have a view of the future and where they would like to go, and then think smartly about how to get there. That would be my recommendation.